Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Storytelling English. I am really happy you are here today. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you were willing to wait years for it? Not days, not weeks, years. Most people give up when success takes too long. Most people stop when life becomes difficult. But every now and then, someone comes along who refuses to quit. Someone who keeps moving forward even when the world keeps saying no. Today's story is about one of those people. Her name was Marie Curie, and by the end of this journey, I think you will understand why millions of people still admire her more than 100 years later. Now imagine a young girl sitting beside a window. Outside, the streets are quiet. Snow is falling gently from the sky. Inside the room, there is a small table, a few books, and a curious child. She is not thinking about games. She is not thinking about toys. She is thinking about questions. Questions about the stars. Questions about nature. Questions about why things happen. And she wants answers. Real answers. That little girl was Marie. Long before the world knew her name. Long before she became famous. Long before she changed science forever. She was simply a child who loved learning. Marie was born in Warsaw, Poland. Life was not always easy for her family. Money was limited. Opportunities were limited. And for young women who dreamed of becoming scientists, the future seemed even more difficult. But Marie had something powerful inside her. Determination. The kind of determination that stays alive even when everything else becomes difficult. At school, she worked harder than almost everyone around her. She loved learning, not because she wanted rewards, not because she wanted attention. She loved learning because she genuinely wanted to understand the world. Her teachers quickly realized she was special. Whenever a difficult question appeared, Marie wanted to solve it. Whenever a challenge appeared, Marie wanted to overcome it. But intelligence alone could not solve every problem. As she grew older, she discovered something frustrating. Many universities refused to accept women. Think about that for a moment. Imagine loving science. Imagine dreaming about discovery. Imagine wanting to learn more than anything else. And then being told, you are not allowed, not because you lack ability, not because you lack talent, but simply because you are a woman. Many people would have accepted defeat. Marie did not. Instead, she made a promise to herself. One day she would find a way. One day she would continue her education. One day she would become the scientist she dreamed of becoming, even if the road was longer than she expected. Years passed. Marie worked hard. She helped support her family. She saved money. She studied whenever she could. And she never abandoned her dream. Then finally, the opportunity she had been waiting for arrived. She would travel to Paris. For Marie, it felt like the beginning of a new life. The journey was exciting, but it was also frightening. She was leaving behind everything familiar. Her family, her friends, her home, everything. And she was stepping into a future filled with uncertainty. When she arrived in Paris, reality hit hard. Life was not glamorous. Life was not comfortable. She lived in a tiny room. The winters were freezing. The summers were exhausting. Money was always short. Some days she worried about how she would pay for basic necessities. But despite every challenge, she kept studying. Imagine sitting alone late at night. Everyone else is asleep. The city outside is quiet, and you are still reading, still learning, still chasing a dream. That was Marie. Again and again, day after day. She refused to stop. Her professors noticed her dedication. Her classmates noticed her intelligence. And slowly, people began to understand that this young woman possessed extraordinary talent. Then something happened that would change her life forever. She met a scientist named Marie Curie. Pierre was thoughtful, kind, intelligent, and deeply passionate about science. The two spent hours discussing ideas, experiments, theories, and the mysteries of the universe. The more they talked, the closer they became. Eventually, they married, and together, they formed one of the greatest scientific partnerships in history. What made their relationship special was not only love, it was purpose. Both believed that science could improve the world. Both believed that discovery mattered, and both were willing to work incredibly hard to uncover new truths. At that time, scientists were exploring strange new phenomena, unusual forms of energy, mysterious observations, questions nobody fully understood. Marie became fascinated. She wanted to investigate further. She wanted evidence. She wanted answers. The work was difficult. The laboratory was simple. The equipment was limited. And progress often felt painfully slow. Weeks passed. Months passed. Years passed. Many experiments failed. Many results created new questions instead of answers. But Marie remained patient. She understood something important. Great discoveries rarely happen quickly. They require persistence. They require discipline. They require faith in the process. And eventually, her persistence paid off. She discovered that certain materials released energy naturally. It was a remarkable finding, a discovery that challenged existing ideas about matter itself. Scientists around the world became interested. Research expanded. Questions multiplied. Excitement grew, and Marie continued pushing forward. The scientific community began recognizing her achievements. Her name appeared in journals. Researchers discussed her work. Universities paid attention. Slowly but surely, the young girl who once dreamed beside a window was becoming one of the most important scientists in the world. Recognition arrived. Awards arrived. Respect arrived. And eventually, she received one of the highest honors any scientist can receive: a Nobel Prize. It was a historic moment, not only for Marie, but for women everywhere. She had broken barriers that many people believed could never be broken. Yet success never changed her character. She remained humble, she remained focused, and she remained committed to discovery. Then life delivered a heartbreaking blow. Pierre died unexpectedly. The loss was devastating. For a long time, grief followed her everywhere. Imagine losing the person who believed in you most, the person who shared your dreams, the person who stood beside you during every challenge. That was the reality Marie faced. Many people expected her to step away from science. Many believed the tragedy would end her work. Instead, she continued, not because it was easy, but because she believed the work mattered. That decision required extraordinary strength. Years later, she achieved another remarkable milestone. She received a second Nobel Prize, an achievement that placed her among the greatest scientists in history. By then, her influence extended far beyond laboratories. Students admired her, scientists respected her, and ordinary people found inspiration in her determination. But perhaps the most beautiful part of her story is this: she never stopped being curious, even after fame, even after awards, even after becoming one of the most respected people in the world. She continued asking questions, she continued learning, she continued searching for answers. That curiosity remained alive until the very end. Eventually, years of scientific work affected her health. The materials she studied carried dangers that were not fully understood at the time. The same discoveries that helped change science also left a lasting impact on her body. Yet her legacy only continued to grow. Today, hospitals benefit from ideas connected to her research. Scientists continue building upon her discoveries. Students learn about her achievements in classrooms around the world, and millions of people continue finding inspiration in her journey. Now, my friends, before we finish, I want you to think about something. Marie Curie did not begin her journey as a famous scientist. She began as a curious child, a child who asked questions, a child who faced obstacles, a child who refused to give up. Everything that came later started with small steps. One lesson, one book, one decision, one day at a time. Maybe your journey feels difficult right now. Maybe learning English feels challenging. Maybe progress feels slower than you hoped. But remember this: great achievements are rarely built in a single moment. They are built through consistency, through patience, through showing up again and again, even when nobody is watching, even when success feels far away. Marie Curie understood that. And because she understood it, she changed the world. Thank you for joining me today. This is Storytelling English. If Marie Curie's story inspired you, leave a comment and tell me which part of her journey impressed you the most. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, my friends, keep learning, keep growing, keep believing in yourself, and never stop asking questions.